Hi guys, so Cabinet Office Minister Michael Gove gave an interview where he was talking about the assurances he has received from vaccine producers that there would be sufficient vaccines to continue this rollout. And he also talked about the quote-unquote invoking of Article 16 of the Northern Ireland Protocol. Now I'll get to that in a moment, but let's hear what he had to say at the beginning.
We're confident. We have assurances.
Sorry to interrupt it at 3 seconds. We're confident we have assurances. What the hell does that mean? We're confident, not we have assurances, but we're confident we have assurances. This is typical slimy language, weasel language by Michael Gove. Michael Gove will never commit to anything. So he's saying we're confident we have assurances. So if something fails to happen, well, he will say, we were confident, we believed we could do it. He's not actually saying we're confident we can deliver. He's saying we're confident we have assurances. Once again, this makes absolutely no sense. If the producer of the vaccine said, look, we will assure that we are able to produce it, then you would just say we have assurances. What he's trying to do is he's trying to dampen down hopes of actually having the vaccine, because later on when things go badly, like with Brexit, Michael Gove can come back and say, look, I never promised it. I was promising assurances, which makes absolutely no sense. But let's continue.
That the supply that we have procured, the supply that we have paid for, is going to be delivered. That's why we are carrying on with our programme, and I'm working with ministers across the United Kingdom in order to make sure that we can accelerate the rollout of that vaccine programme, to make sure that there are more jabs in more arms, exactly as we've planned.
Now, we're not sure exactly what this plan is, because according to the producers of the vaccine, you need to have a vaccine every 3 weeks. 3 weeks after the first jab. There is talk of having the vaccine, the second jab, after 10 weeks. So that's not... Which plan is Michael Gove following?
Well, I think the European Union recognised that they made a mistake in triggering Article 16.
Now, the European Union, and this has been going around over the last number of hours, the European Union did not actually trigger Article 16. They were considering triggering Article 16. This is a press release from the European Commission. It says here, and this is on the 29th of January, it says here, to tackle the current lack of transparency of vaccine exports outside the EU, the Commission is putting in place a measure requiring that such exports are subject to an authorization by member states. In the process of finalization of this measure, the Commission will ensure that the Northern Ireland Protocol is unaffected. The Commission is not triggering the safeguard clause. So they're not triggering Article 16 of the Northern Ireland Protocol. They were perhaps considering it. It was something that was maybe on the table, but they haven't actually triggered it. This is something that has been cleared up. But let's get back to Michael Gove.
Which would have meant the reimposition of a border on the island.
Actually, that's not true. It wouldn't have meant the reimposition of a border. Article 16 is about individual aspects of the protocol. It's not the suspension of the protocol. It's actually a measure to avoid the suspension of the protocol. Article 16 allows parts of the protocol to be suspended. It doesn't mean that there would be a hard border. Of course, this is what Brexiteers have been trying to push over the last 24 hours. The idea that, this is the suspension of the Good Friday Agreement. This is the suspension of the Northern Ireland Protocol. This is a hard border on the island of Ireland. This is not the case. And as you can see from the European Commission press release, they didn't actually trigger Article 16.
Of Ireland, but now the European Union have stepped back, and they've stepped back following clear conversations that the Prime Minister has had with the European Commission.
Why would the European Commission have a conversation with Boris Johnson about triggering Article 16 if they didn't trigger Article 16. Now, I'm not saying that they didn't have a conversation with Boris Johnson. It just doesn't make any sense. Why would they speak to Boris Johnson about triggering Article 16 and Boris Johnson talk them out of it in some way? Does anyone actually believe that took place? Does anyone believe that Boris Johnson understands the Northern Ireland Protocol, or he understands Article 16 of the Northern Ireland Protocol? So, look, I'm not I don't want to overly criticize Boris Johnson here, but Michael Gove is trying to convince people that the EU invoked Article 16, which, according to their own press release, they did not, and that Boris Johnson talked them out of it. This doesn't make any sense to me.
President, and I've had with the European Commission Vice President, they recognise that they have made a mistake, and I believe...
But they didn't make a mistake. If there was a mistake, it was maybe not informing the Republic of Ireland and Great Britain that they were considering invoking Article 16. But if they didn't invoke it, it wasn't necessary to inform them that there was no invoking of Article 16. So it wasn't necessary to inform anyone.
That we can now concentrate on making sure that our vaccine programme is successful, and also that we can resolve the issues in Northern Ireland that have been such a concern to the people of Northern Ireland.
Now, this is nothing to do with the vaccine. This is nothing to do with Article 16 of the protocol. What he's talking about here is there are problems in Northern Ireland created by Brexit. And of course, as a Brexiteer, Michael Gove, of course, is a Brexiteer. He's trying to deflect issues away from Brexit. He's trying to deflect blame away from Brexit. And of course, this is an opportunity for Brexiteers. They're going to say, look, Article 16 was invoked by the EU, which it was not. And we're going to blame the EU for any problems that are taking place in Northern Ireland. But it's not the EU's fault that there are problems in Northern Ireland. These problems began on the 1st of January, before there was any talk of any transparency or any issues regarding the exportation of the vaccine. But of course, the Brexiteers will try to have this issue injected into, have the issue of vaccines or Article 16 injected into the problem of Brexit, to deflect from Brexit, of course.
I've spoken to the European Commission Vice President Maros Šefčovič about this, and we've both agreed that we need a reset, that we need to put the people of Northern Ireland first. The Prime Minister...
The people of what has this got to do with the people of Northern Ireland? It has nothing to do with the people of Northern Ireland. Article 16 was not triggered, so it doesn't affect the people of Northern Ireland. What's affecting the people of Northern Ireland at the moment is Brexit. You need to fix that, not this issue of Article 16.
It was very clear. We've entered into contractual arrangements with AstraZeneca and Pfizer. We expect those arrangements to be honoured, and President von der Leyen was clear that she understood exactly the UK government's position, so we expect that those contracts will be honoured. We expect that vaccines will continue to be supplied. The UK government's position... Now,
actually, I'm a little bit concerned here, because I think what Michael Gove and Boris Johnson are going to try and do here, and you can... And this is a prediction of mine. Well, I hope it doesn't turn out to be true, but what I think is what they're going to do is they're going to see that, oh, wait a minute, we don't have enough vaccines for a second dose. Let's blame someone. And who do you think they're going to blame for this? They're going to blame the European Union. I don't know how they're going to blame the European Union, but they're going to blame the European. Michael Gove here is talking about Ursula von der Leyen, and he's spoken with her about this, and he's spoken to the European Commission about this. If the second jab doesn't arrive, or there isn't enough of it to carry out the full vaccination, the full immunization, someone is going to be blamed. Now, do you think the Conservative Party and the government are going to blame themselves? Of course not. They never blame themselves. They never take responsibility for anything they have done. So what they're going to do is they're going to blame the European Union for this. That's what their approach is going to be. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?